Do you want to be happier than you are right now? Well, I hope so, because I really wanted to be happier at one point in my life, and I've shared that in another ad. The important point here is that when I wrote Ultimate Happiness, Best Proven Western and Eastern Insights about how to be happier today, I set out to write the very best book ever written on the topic of happiness. That was no small task. There are two kind of books that I really admire and that have also sold a lot of books. The first is The Art of Happiness by His Holiness the Dalai Lama and a co-author of Dr. Cutler. And that book presents and talks about happiness from the Buddhist perspective, and Buddhists have been studying happiness for over 2,500 years, so they know something about happiness. And he presents it extremely well, and His Holiness is a real hero of mine. And I have great respect for Buddhists and the great Buddhist master Sogyal Rinpoche. I studied with him personally multiple times, and he made a major impact on my life. So Buddhists have a lot of good things to say about happiness. The second very good-selling book is Authentic Happiness by Dr. Marty Seligman, University of Pennsylvania, founder of the field of positive psychology, which is the branch of psychology that's been studying happiness, but they've only been doing it for about 30 years. Contrast that with 2,500 years with Buddhists. So when I set out to write this book, I understood what they had done, and I wanted to provide the most complete and most practical, very importantly, book that could help people just like you to start becoming happier on day one and every day for the rest of their life. So let me run through just some of the things that are in my book, Ultimate Happiness, that you won't find in any of the other happiness books that I'm aware of. The first is, you'd probably like to know how happy you are today. So I put together a very specific, detailed 10 steps of happiness, starting with barely, occasionally, almost never happy, all the way up 10 steps to ultimate happiness. And this way you can kind of determine where you are today and how much progress you can make from where you are today. So it's a very good benchmark from that particular standpoint. The next thing that's in my book that's not really in the other books to the degree that I've detailed in Ultimate Happiness, self-awareness is a critical capability, personal capability, to become happier. You need to understand how you're feeling, where you are, and being able to know yourself. Because self-awareness is so important, I provide incredible detail and practical advice on how to develop self-awareness through multiple chapters. This is a quality and a capability that will serve you incredibly well in life, not just with happiness. So self-awareness is something that is very detailed in the book. Next, I deal with the subject of beliefs. Our belief system that exists, each of us has a belief system, and that belief system guides our choices. And those choices have happy consequences, unhappy consequences, no consequences, but we have beliefs. Becoming self-aware, we can understand and become aware of our beliefs, and those that are serving us well and those that aren't. That's in a very important place to be able to start. So, in addition to that part of it, I also dedicate a whole chapter to what I call the 6 happiness beliefs. If you have 3, 4, 5, all 6 of these beliefs and really are into it, the likelihood that you're going to become happier much faster is tremendously great. Okay? The next thing I do is provide from a very specific field of study about beliefs called spiral dynamics. And this is a study of how our beliefs evolve over time as we evolve as human beings. From very egocentric people to very competitive to people who want to serve humanity, our beliefs change dramatically at each of the stages of spiral dynamics. And understanding that can be of tremendous help in understanding ourselves. So, self-awareness and beliefs are something I spend a great deal of time on in this book to help you better understand yourself and what you can do to become happier. At the heart of this book is a lot of step-by-step advice. You need to take this step first, then this step, and here's what you want to do in each of these steps. Okay? And I come at it from a number of perspectives. In chapter 16, the last chapter in the book, is the Ultimate Happiness Fast Start Program. And it's exactly what it says. But it's a year-long outline of the steps you want to take, one at a time, developing some mastery and capability before moving on to the next step. Okay? So, the book Ultimate Happiness taps into Western science, taps into Buddhism, but in addition to Buddhism and the Eastern wisdom traditions, I tap into the teachings of other great teachers. For example, Krishna, Jesus, Paramahansa Yogananda, my beloved guru, and others. So I go well beyond the Eastern wisdom tradition of just Buddhism to provide you broader perspective there. So what I've shared with you is I've got great admiration for the art of happiness and authentic happiness. But when I set out to write this book, I knew achieving happiness was not easy, and that if I was going to help you start being happier on day one and every day for the rest of your life, I needed to provide you a lot more guidance and information to help you navigate your life all the way to ultimate happiness. If you'd like to buy single chapters or the whole book, or buy it in very innovative forms like the first ever movie book, right now, go to myultimatehappiness.com. Thank you very much.